Hello, Aries, and happy April. Okay, I have pulled 2 cards from this deck for you. Actually, I didn't pull, they popped out. So, I'm going to read the energy of these 2 cards, then we'll get into more shuffling. But what's coming out first, the first message is, it's time to celebrate. It's time to do like a happy dance because something that you have been manifesting is coming. Something is about to take place. Like it's very magical too. Like the snake really comes up as change, and a snake is a messenger that talks about change. Change is coming. And it feels like you've put your intentions out into the universe, and the universe is delivering something that you have been working toward or trying to manifest. And it feels like you've put a lot of energy into this. I don't know if it's a project you've been working on. Maybe it's a relationship that you've been hoping for. Maybe it's a lifestyle change. But it feels like it's really going to come to fruition this month. So let's dig in deeper and see what comes up for you. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, first thing that's coming through is if there might be some pregnancies this month, okay? If someone's been trying to, if someone has been trying to manifest a pregnancy, that might be happening this month. So that's the first thing that comes up. That was the first message. Okay. There is a lot of power behind you. Like there is a lot of energy coming forth. There's a lot of, like, the universe is really pushing to give you the change or to help you manifest what you have been desiring. It's really creating some change. And you might see this change in ways that you're not necessarily keen on. So and this is why this perspective card is coming up too, is they're showing me, so maybe you lose your job. Okay, I hate to say that. I always hate delivering that news. But maybe you lose your job. But it is, if you look at it from the right perspective, it is not about the loss of the job. It is about the loss of this energy in your life, and so you can open up to more. So basically, like the universe operates in wholeness, okay? So when something is missing from your life, it likes to fill it with something, okay? So if you release something from your life, something else has to fill it, and the universe will put something in your path to fill it. So if you lose your job, it is natural that something else, the universe is going to bring in something else to fill it. Now, what it fills it with is based on what energy you are putting out, because the universe is going to match that energy. And so if you lose your job and you focus on the loss of the job, the lack of money, the, maybe you get a hard time from your parents or your spouse or something like that. If you focus on that, that's what's going to bring more. It's going to get more of that into your life. But if you say, okay, I lost my job because the universe is aligning me for something better, and you focus on anything that's coming in, on focusing your attention on what you do want to fill that space with, that's when something good is going to come into your life. And so the opportunities are there for celebration and manifestation, but it's where you're putting your focus. Okay? And another message that's coming through about this childhood is if you're in this space where something falls away, and this could be a relationship, this could be a friendship, maybe your house, you're renting your house and the owners say, okay, we have to sell, and so you need to find a new place to live. Approach it like from a childlike perspective, like an adventure, like let's have an adventure. Okay, we're not going to look at the negatives of having to find a new house. We're going to look at the positives, and we're going to look at, ooh, what kind of a house do we want? Where would we want to live? You have this new opportunity of what you want to bring in for yourself, and that's what the universe is bringing about for you this month, Aries. There's a lot of opportunities for joy and celebration and positive change if you see it in the right perspective. Okay, let's take my fairy deck. Okay, Aries, April. Okay, that one seems to want to come out. And that one. Okay. Okay, Solace. Okay. So this feels like a union, but not like a marriage. It feels like a union with yourself. It feels like you're at this war with yourself. Like you have, like if something happens or something occurs, or maybe something has occurred this past month and you're working through it now this month. It feels like you're there, but you're kind of trying to come to terms with yourself. And it may be this month that you have to kind of find your peace. You have to make peace with something. You have to go inward to say, okay, I've lost my job. Yes, I'm terrified about not having money. I'm terrified about not being able to support my family or pay my rent, not have enough money for food. I'm terrified, but I'm not going to dwell in that place, okay? So it's like something happens and you go into solace, but you find a way to heal that instead of dwelling in that space of negativity. And it's like you have to have this union with yourself as far as coming to terms with the negative, but being able to express the positive and focus on the positive. Absolutely, we can't shut down our feelings. We can't shut down our fears, but what we can do is we can move through our fears. So if you have this fear of losing money if you lose your job, or maybe a relationship ends and you question, am I good enough to be with this person? Maybe it's this process of, why don't I feel good enough to be with this person? And you have to go down the path of, what do I need to heal? And why am I feeling like I'm not worthy? Why am I feeling like I'm not good enough to be with this person? Let's move through those feelings. I'm going to cry about it. I'm going to ho'oponopono. Work through those, any, past energetic occurrences of this. I am going to work through these feelings and heal. And that's what this place is. It's coming to terms with the darkness that's inside of you as the darkness is presented, so you can change your perspective to something that's light. See, you have all this darkness around, but there's a focus point of lightness right there. So you can choose to go down this spiral of darkness into this dark place and focus on only the dark when these, not so great things happen. And you can spiral and spiral and spiral, or you can work through the darkness, go internal, and allow yourself to come back out and be able to focus on that place of light. Be able to have worked through the darkness and shine light into the darkness and healed those dark shadow aspects of yourself. And this union feels like this it's a marriage of finding that balance between your light and your dark. Okay, hopefully that made sense. Ooh, okay. This card deck wants to talk, and this card first, because that did not get picked up with it. Okay, the Rose's Kiss. Okay, what else for Aries for April? Okay. Okay. Wish upon a star. The rose's kiss. An opening to discovery. This is, we see this kind of portal, and we see this opening in this tree, and we have this opening here, this key. And what it feels like is that you have, and look, even you have this light shining down from the sky, you have the light from the lightning. It's like you have these, and look, you even have the light coming down into her head. You have all these beams of light from the divine, and the divine, it feels like the divine is speaking to you, trying to share the light with you, trying to share that some things need to end for other things to begin. And it's time for you to wish. It's time for you to dream. And I talked about celebrating manifestations, but something they said to me earlier, and I didn't go down that path, what you desire, what you've been trying to manifest, may not look like what you've expected, okay? And we get these 2 9s right here, and that's telling me endings. Cycles are ending. And it's funny I say cycles because we have the secular spiral right there that I was just talking about. But we also have the kind of this spiral in the rose, the way the rose is kind of spirals together. And it feels like this right now, some things look similar, some things look like you're going in the same path, but these cycles are ending. And you have a new opening, like this lock right here and this key. You have this new opening. And it's all about perspective and healing and working through these things that are ending. Okay? And this wish upon a star is focusing on the positives, focusing on what you want to create for yourself, keeping focused on what you're trying to manifest, keeping focus on what your desires are and what's going to bring you joy and what's going to make you happy. Because the celebration and the manifestations are on the other side of the things that have to be let go. And these things have to be let go for the miracles to come in. The miracles will not come in on top of these other things that don't resonate, because what's coming into you is resonating at a higher frequency. And in order for you to receive that, you have to be at that higher frequency. And so getting rid of these lower vibrational energies with, whatever needs to be let go, and, any emotions that are tied to these things that are falling away, you have to work through those and let go of the lower vibrational energies to get yourself to a higher vibration, and so you can receive what's coming into you. It feels like this. Oh, excuse me. Okay, it feels like this ladybug is part of like this wish thing. Something is ending, and so you need to focus on what is beginning and what you want to bring in your life. And maybe, like I said, maybe you have been manifesting. Maybe your manifestations will be coming into play and coming to you as you go through some other things. But keep focused on those manifestations. Keep focusing on what you want to create for yourself. Okay, what cards? Ooh, yep, let's do those. Okay, I'm going to do these. Okay, Aries, April. Cloak and Dagger, Deception. Ah, okay. Okay, I think those two want to come out. Okay, I will move my coffee back. Okay, something that may fall away this month, maybe there's deception in it. Like you're going to see something and you're going to make the choice to walk away. Boundaries is perfect for that, because you say, you see something is happening, maybe something at work is happening, and you say to yourself, this isn't right, or you come to find out that your boss is working against you, or coworkers are working against you to get you fired, or to decrease your value to the company, and you realize, I'm too good for this, I don't need this, and you create boundaries for yourself. And boundaries is saying, it's basically putting yourself first. What am I gonna accept for myself? And you shouldn't accept anything that doesn't make you feel amazing, because you are special, you are magical, and you are a divine child of the universe, and you deserve amazing things. So allowing people to deceive you is a boundary that you need to set, and maybe that's something that you need to walk away from. Or maybe you have a friendship and people are not treating you nicely in the friendship, and you say, okay, I don't need this. I don't need to be treated like this. Maybe it's something that you have to walk away from, or maybe it's something you can start new and say, I don't want to be treated like this. So if you guys can't treat me better, then I'm going to have to find new friends. But that allows them to see how valuable of a friend you are, and how much they like you and how treasured you are. And they say, okay, we're sorry. We will change, and we will, do better to treat you fairly. Okay. This letting loose, it's just let go. I know whenever we are in a job situation or a relationship, we get so ingrained in these aspects of ourselves, and so ingrained in life with money, and we have kids and everything like that, and we get to the point where we feel absolutely stuck. But there can be a place where you let go and just say, I'm done. I deserve better, and I am going to create better for myself. And this may be the point that you get to this month. Just allow yourself to walk away, or fly free, or just allow yourself to have fun. That's another aspect that's been coming through a lot in these readings, is if you find you're too ingrained in the what ifs and the negative aspect of things, allow yourself to let loose and have fun and be free. And what that does is it changes your energy. And a lot of times when you let go, that's when the miracles come in. That's when the miracles fall in your lap. Okay. I'm going to pull one last card from my Oracle deck. Okay. Aries, April. This is my digital Oracle deck. I will hopefully get my physical one in print someday, but I will leave details below on how to download this. Okay, Aries. Carousel Karma. This is the Karma card. And it's interesting because a carousel goes round and round and round, and that's the same thing that happens with karma. Is karma comes around and around and around until it is released. And we talked about the spiral right here, and spiraling with emotions and cycles and everything like that. But the karma card brings up a really good point, that if you feel like you're doing the same things over again, it is karma. And what you're being asked to do is, how you break karma is doing something different. So maybe, we saw this deception over here. Maybe that same deception has followed you through lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, and you haven't done anything about it. You've let it go. But in this lifetime, you say, I'm sick of this shit. And you put up your boundaries, and you walk away from that person, or you walk away from that job, or, you're being treated shitty, and you say, okay, and you have to give someone an ultimatum. So it's all about breaking the cycle by doing something different. So how would you normally act? You know, maybe you would go back to your job and say, okay, I guess I better perform better. I'm not doing really well. You know, you would internalize it instead of saying, no, I'm a great employee. I deserve more. And you either go to your boss and say, I deserve more. I don't deserve to be treated like this. Or you just quit. You know, it's something like that. Relationships, whatever it is, house situation, living situation. You want to move overseas. Just doing something different, finding a different way to live. And that is what, when you change that karma, or when you break that karma, when you release that cycle, that is when everything comes in for you. That is when your manifestations are going to show up. Even if they don't show up exactly like you expected them, they're always going to be better than what you expected, even if you don't see it at first. So I think there are wonderful things. It feels like there's wonderful things coming towards you, Aries. There might be some, little bumps along the way to help those manifestations come in. There might be some karma that you have to release in order to get there, but it is coming. They're on their way, and beautiful things are happening for you, dear Aries. Okay. So if you liked my reading, please hit that like button. If you're interested in seeing more of my readings, please subscribe. And please share your comments. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. I am sending you all my love, Aries. I hope you have a beautiful April, and I will see you back here soon for more readings.